Have you ever noticed that in any crisis, in any heated argument, or in any high-pressure meeting, there is always one person who doesn't flinch? While everyone else is raising their voices, shifting in their seats, and letting their emotions leak through their pores, this person remains as still as a statue. They don't shout. They don't scramble to defend themselves. They just watch. And because of that, no one dares to cross them. People might disagree with them, but they never disrespect them. They feel it. They feel an invisible wall of authority that says, "Your chaos has no power here." Welcome back. Today, we are breaking down the psychological blueprint of the unshakable individual. We're exploring why absolute calmness is the most dangerous social signal you can send, and why it is the only true shield against disrespect. Most people think that to be respected, you need to be loud, aggressive, or dominant. But true dominance isn't noisy. True dominance is the ability to remain indifferent to the provocations of the world. When you are calm, you are sending a message to the reptilian part of everyone else's brain. You are telling them that you are not a victim, you are not a prey, and you are certainly not afraid. In this deep dive, we will analyze the biological threat assessment, how people's brains subconsciously decide whether to respect you or test you within the first few seconds, why emotional reactivity is a confession of weakness, and how silence acts as a fortress, the status shift, how to flip the power dynamics of any room without saying a single word, and the practical steps to building a nervous system that stays cold when the world gets hot. If you are tired of being overlooked, talked over, or tested by those around you, pay close attention. Respect isn't something you ask for. It's something you command through the quality of your presence. It's time to stop reacting and start ruling. Have you ever wondered why we instinctively lower our voices when someone remains perfectly still? It's wired into our DNA. In the wild, noise is a sign of panic. A cornered animal screams. A weak person shouts. But a predator is silent. When you remain calm in the face of an insult or a threat, you are bypassing the other person's conscious mind and talking directly to their nervous system. Their brain performs an automatic biological threat assessment. It asks, why is he not afraid? Does he know something I don't? Is he so confident in his ability to crush me that he doesn't even feel the need to react? Your lack of reaction suggests a hidden reservoir of power. It creates a psychological gap that the other person's mind fills with fear. By not reacting, you are signaling that you are higher in the social hierarchy. In nature, the individual with the most self-control is always the one in charge. Think of it this way. Every time you react to someone, you are giving them your energy. You are telling them, you have the power to change my internal state. You are handing them the remote control to your life. But when you stay calm, you keep that remote. You remain the master of your own territory. They try to bait you. They try to poke at your insecurities. They wait for the flinch, the stutter, or the angry comeback. And when they get nothing, their own adrenaline starts to turn against them. They feel exposed. They feel small. This is why calm people are never disrespected for long. You cannot disrespect someone who doesn't acknowledge your attempt to diminish them. You can't play a game if the other person won't even pick up the ball. Your composure is a fortress, and every silent second that passes makes that fortress look more impenetrable. They feel it. Not because of what you do, but because of what you refuse to do. You refuse to be moved. And in a world of frantic, emotional people, being unmovable makes you a god. The biggest mistake most people make when they feel disrespected is responding too fast. A fast response is a defensive response. It shows that the other person's words have penetrated your skin and triggered your nervous system. When you snap back instantly, you are essentially saying, "You hit me and it hurt." But there is a tactical weapon you can use to flip this dynamic entirely. It's called the 3-second rule. The next time someone says something rude, condescending, or testing, do absolutely nothing for 3 full seconds. Don't roll your eyes. Don't sigh. Don't shift your weight. Just look them directly in the eyes with a neutral, calm expression. Image suggestion. A close-up of a man's calm eyes looking directly at the viewer with a stopwatch overlaying the image. In those 3 seconds, the entire power balance of the room shifts. Here is what happens psychologically. You break their momentum. They expected a reaction, anger, an excuse, or a counterattack. By giving them nothing, you leave their insult hanging in the air like a bad smell. You force them to process their own words. In the silence, they hear what they just said, and it often sounds much more foolish or aggressive than they intended. You project total certainty. Only a person who is completely sure of their own power can afford to wait. Usually, after 2 seconds of silence, the other person begins to feel incredibly uncomfortable. They might start to backtrack, laugh nervously, or try to explain that it was just a joke. Without you saying a single word, they are already beginning to apologize. They are already losing ground. Silence is a vacuum, and human nature dictates that it must be filled. If you don't fill it with your defense, they will fill it with their own insecurity. By the time you finally do speak, if you choose to speak at all, your words will have 10 times the weight because they are delivered from a position of absolute composure. Remember, the person who can sit in the silence the longest is always the one who holds the power. Calmness isn't about being passive. It's about being so active in your self-control that the other person's aggression has nowhere to land. They feel it. They feel the weight of your silence, and it crushes their desire to disrespect you. The world has conditioned us to believe that the loudest person in the room is the most powerful. We see movies where the hero shouts his enemies into submission. We see corporate leaders who demand respect through intimidation. But in the real world, this is a lie. Aggression is almost always a mask for fear. When someone attacks you verbally, when they try to put you down or disrespect you, they are essentially confessing that they feel threatened by you. They are trying to lower your status because they are unsure of their own. Think about it. A king does not need to shout that he is king. A lion does not need to prove his dominance to a house cat. Only the insecure, the unstable, and the weak feel the need to broadcast their power through noise. When you look at an aggressive person through the lens of calm, the perspective shifts. You don't see a threat anymore. You see someone who has lost control over their most basic functions, their emotions. They are effectively naked in front of you, showing you exactly where they are hurt and what they are afraid of. Image suggestion. A split screen showing a person shouting, label, weakness, and a calm person looking back, label, strength. By staying calm, you are refusing to join them in their weakness. You stay clothed in your composure. This is why they feel it. They feel that you are operating on a level they cannot reach. They realize that while they are drowning in their own adrenaline, you are breathing perfectly fine. This realization is your ultimate shield. How can you be disrespected by someone you pity? How can their words hurt you when you recognize those words as symptoms of their own internal chaos? True respect is born from the recognition of self-mastery. When people see that you are the master of yourself, they subconsciously decide that you are capable of being the master of others. Calmness is the clearest evidence of an unshakable mind. It tells the world, I am my own sovereign. No one enters my mental fortress without my permission. In every culture, in every era, the person who remains calm under pressure is assigned the highest social value. Why? Because calmness is the rarest commodity in the world. Think about the people who hold the most responsibility in society: surgeons, elite pilots, special forces operators, or high-stakes negotiators. What is the one trait they all share? It isn't their physical strength or even their raw intelligence. It is their unshakable nervous system. We trust these people with our lives and our fortunes because we know that when the world catches fire, they will not panic. When you demonstrate this same calmness in your daily life, during a corporate meeting, a social gathering, or a family dispute, you are signaling that you are leadership material. Image suggestion: a group of blurred, frantic people in a boardroom with one sharp, clear man at the head of the table looking composed and focused. Most people are like leaves in the wind. They move whichever way the news, their social media feed, or their boss's mood blows them. They are predictable and easy to manipulate, but the calm person is the anchor. People instinctively gravitate towards the anchor because it offers safety. When you are the person who cannot be shaken, you become the person who makes the decisions. Disrespect becomes impossible because people are too busy looking for your guidance. They realize that you are the only one with enough clarity to see the solution while everyone else is blinded by their own frustration. This is where the money and the power are. Opportunities don't flow to the emotional or the loud. They flow to the stable. They flow to the person who can look at a disaster and see a set of steps to be taken. They feel it. Your peers, your superiors, and your competitors. They feel that you are the eye of the storm. By mastering your reaction, you aren't just protecting yourself from insults. You are advertising your competence to the entire world. You are showing that you are a high-value individual who is too busy building a legacy to be distracted by the noise of small minds. Power isn't just felt, it is seen. Before you even open your mouth, people have already decided how much respect they owe you based on one thing: your visual composure. Most people have leaky faces. When they are nervous, their eyes dart around the room. When they are angry, their jaw tightens. When they feel disrespected, their eyebrows twitch. They are broadcasting their internal state like a neon sign. But a truly calm person practices what I call the deadpan shield. This isn't about looking like a robot. It's about having a face that is impossible to read. It's about maintaining a neutral, relaxed expression even when someone is trying to set your house on fire. Image suggestion: a close-up of the stoic man character from your thumbnails, focusing on his calm, steady eyes and relaxed facial muscles, contrasted with a blurred background of motion. Here is the secret of visual dominance. Control your eyes and you control the room. The average person looks away when a conversation gets intense. They look down at their feet or to the side. This is a submissive signal. It tells the other person that their presence is overwhelming you. To command respect, you must practice the steady gaze. When someone is speaking to you, especially if they are being aggressive, keep your eyes locked on theirs. Not with a crazy stare, but with a calm, observant look, as if you are a scientist studying a strange insect. When you don't blink frequently and you don't look away, they feel it. They feel that your attention is a heavy weight. They realize that they cannot intimidate you with their presence. In fact, they start to feel intimidated by yours. Combined with this, keep your jaw relaxed and your shoulders down. Physical tension is a confession of stress. By consciously relaxing your muscles during a conflict, you are hacking your own brain into staying calm, and you are showing the world that you are at total peace. A person who is physically relaxed while being verbally attacked is the most terrifying person to deal with. It signals that you are so confident in your position that the attack isn't even worth a muscle twitch. That is the definition of high status. There is a direct correlation between how much a person talks and how much respect they receive. In the world of high status dynamics, words are like currency. The more you print, the less they are worth. Most people, when they feel the pressure of a social situation, fall into the trap of logorrhea, the inability to stop talking. They explain their motives, they justify their mistakes, and they try to fill every silence with nervous chatter. They think they are building a bridge, but they are actually digging a hole. Image suggestion. A scale where a single gold coin, labeled few words, outweighs a massive pile of worthless paper, labeled over-explaining. When you speak less, every word you do say carries more weight. This is the economy of words. Think about the most respected figures in history or cinema. They don't give long, rambling speeches when they are insulted. They use short, precise sentences that cut through the noise like a blade. If someone tries to disrespect you and you respond with a 10-minute defense, you have already lost. You have shown that their opinion is important enough to warrant a massive expenditure of your energy. But what if you respond with just 3 words? Or 1? Or better yet, what if you just look at them and say, "Are you done?" They feel it. They feel the cold reality that their words didn't land. By being economical with your language, you force the other person to do all the work. You are the judge, and they are the defendant trying to win your favor. When you stop over-explaining, you stop giving people ammunition to use against you. Silence cannot be misquoted. Silence cannot be used to make you look desperate. In any interaction, the person who speaks the least is the person who is observing the most. And the person who observes the most is the one who eventually wins. Make it a rule. Never explain yourself to someone who is trying to disrespect you. Explanation is a form of submission. Instead, use the power of the short response. Let your calmness do the talking, and let your words be the final, undeniable seal on the conversation. To reach a level where they feel it instantly, your calmness cannot be a performance. It cannot be an act you put on when the camera is rolling or when you enter a meeting. People are experts at sniffing out fake confidence. If you are shaking inside while trying to look calm outside, your micro-expressions will betray you. Your voice will have a slight quiver. Your pupils will dilate. You must build what the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius called the internal citadel. This is a mental fortress where you retreat when the world outside becomes chaotic. Inside this citadel, you are the only authority. The insults of a co-worker, the road rage of a stranger, or the disrespect of a peer, these are all external events. They happen outside the walls of your fortress. Image suggestion. A medieval stone fortress standing strong in the middle of a violent sea storm. The waves are crashing against the walls, but the interior is lit and peaceful. The secret to building this citadel is the realization that nothing can touch your mind unless you give it permission. When someone tries to disrespect you, they are throwing a rock at your fortress. If you get angry, you are opening the gates and letting that rock hit you. If you stay calm, the rock simply hits the wall and falls into the dirt. It becomes irrelevant. How do you practice this? By detaching your identity from the opinions of others. Most people are external driven. Their happiness depends on praise, and their sadness depends on criticism. But a high-value, calm individual is internal driven. You know who you are. You know your worth. Therefore, the noise of others doesn't change your internal reality. When you reach this state, your calmness becomes heavy. It becomes magnetic. When someone tries to provoke you and you remain in your citadel, they feel a sense of overwhelming futility. They realize that they are screaming at a mountain, and a mountain doesn't scream back. It just exists. This is the ultimate form of self-respect. You respect your peace of mind too much to let a small person ruin it. Once you master this internal detachment, you don't have to try to be calm. You simply are calm. And that is when the world truly begins to fear your silence. The goal of staying calm is not just to survive an interaction, it's to end it on your terms. There is a specific way to exit a conversation or a conflict that solidifies your dominance and leaves the other person feeling the full weight of their own inadequacy. This is the calm retaliation. Most people think retaliation means an eye for an eye. They think you need to insult the person back. But the most devastating retaliation is showing the person that their entire existence and their attempt to bother you is insignificant. Image suggestion. A man turning his back calmly to someone who is clearly still talking or gesturing, showing total indifference as he walks away. Here is how you execute it. The dismissive approval. When someone finishes their disrespectful rant or test, give them a very slight, slow nod. Don't say, "I understand." Just nod as if you're acknowledging a child who just finished a tantrum. It says, "I heard you, but it didn't change anything." The "wait, what?" question. If they are being particularly aggressive, wait for them to finish, pause for those 3 seconds we discussed, and then ask a completely neutral, clarifying question. Something like, "Is there a specific result you're looking for with this tone?" Or, "Are you having a difficult day?" This forces them to explain their bad behavior, which is the ultimate position of weakness. The final exit. Once you've delivered your short, calm response, physically disengage. Turn back to your work. Start a conversation with someone else, or simply walk away. Do not wait for their permission to leave. By ending the interaction this way, you are not retreating. You are dismissing them. You are deciding that the conversation is over because it is no longer worthy of your time. They feel it in the pit of their stomach. They feel the realization that they failed to move you. You have taken their best shot, and you didn't even blink. To them, you now look like a giant. People don't attack mountains not because they like mountains, but because they know it's a waste of energy. When you consistently apply the calm retaliation, word spreads. Your reputation begins to precede you. People will say, "Don't even bother trying to get a rise out of him. He doesn't care. It's like talking to a wall of ice." That is the moment you have achieved true social immunity. Everything we've discussed today, the biological triggers, the 3-second rule, the internal citadel, comes down to one single truth. Your life is defined by the quality of your responses. If you react to everything, you are a slave to everyone. But if you choose your response, you are the master of your fate. This isn't a trick you use once to win an argument. This is a lifestyle. It is a commitment to being the most stable person in your own world. Image suggestion. The protagonist walking away into a bright, clear horizon, leaving a chaotic, shadowy city behind. He looks focused and at peace. Understand this. People will continue to test you. The world will continue to be loud, chaotic, and often disrespectful. That is the nature of the environment. But your power doesn't come from changing the world. It comes from changing the way the world affects you. When you embody this unshakable calm, you become a beacon for others. You start to notice that people treat you differently, not because they fear you, but because they recognize a level of self-mastery they haven't yet achieved themselves. You become the standard. You become the stoic leader. They feel it. They feel your presence before you speak. They feel your authority when you are silent. And they feel your respect for yourself, which forces them to respect you in return. If this message resonated with you, it's a sign that you are ready to stop being moved by the noise. It's time to start building your own fortress. Rewatch this video whenever you feel your composure slipping. Commit to the 3-second rule starting today. Observe the world instead of absorbing its chaos. The path to becoming untouchable is long, but it starts with a single moment of silence. Don't just watch this. Become it. Subscribe if you are choosing to be part of the few who stay calm while the rest of the world panics. Leave a comment with the word unshakable if you've decided to take back control of your reactions today. Thank you for watching. Stay calm. Stay dangerous. To understand why calm is so effective, we must look at the masters of the past. Think of the great Stoics. When Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome, he wasn't just managing an empire, he was managing his own mind, while the plague, betrayal, and war threatened to tear everything apart. His power didn't come from his legions alone. It came from his ability to sit in a tent at the edge of the world and write, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Image suggestion. A cinematic reconstruction of a Roman camp at night. Marcus Aurelius, writing by candlelight. Consider the samurai of feudal Japan. They practiced mushin, or no mind. A samurai who became emotional in a duel was a dead samurai. If they felt anger, they lost their technique. If they felt fear, they lost their speed. They trained their nervous systems to be so calm that their opponents couldn't read their intentions. This is exactly what we mean when we say they feel it. When a samurai entered a room, his stillness was more intimidating than his blade. This historical prestige of calmness has been passed down into our collective subconscious. When you remain calm today, you are tapping into an ancient archetype of the warrior philosopher. You are signaling to everyone around you that you belong to that lineage of men who cannot be broken by words or circumstances. Let's go deeper into the gray matter. Why does your brain want to react, and how do you stop it? Inside your head, there is a constant battle between the amygdala, the emotional fire alarm, and the prefrontal cortex, the rational commander. When someone insults you, your amygdala screams, attack, defend, shout. It floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline. Your heart rate spikes, your vision narrows. This is the tunnel vision of weakness. In this state, you are no better than a panicked animal. Image suggestion, a high-tech medical animation of the brain highlighting the amygdala in red and the prefrontal cortex in cool blue. The calm individual has trained the prefrontal cortex to intervene. You acknowledge the alarm, but you don't act on it. This is called neurological gap. The longer the gap between the stimulus, the insult, and the response, your action, the more power you have. By widening this gap, you are literally rewiring your brain. You are teaching your nervous system that social threats are not physical threats. An insult cannot kill you. A condescending tone cannot wound you. Once your brain realizes this, the cortisol stops flowing. You stay cool while the other person is drowning in their own chemical cocktail. This is why you look so powerful to them, because while they are in a state of internal emergency, you are in a state of internal peace. Let's apply this to a real-life situation. Imagine you are in a meeting. A colleague tries to take credit for your work or makes a passive-aggressive comment to make you look incompetent in front of the boss. The average person gets defensive. They start explaining. They get a hot face. The calm individual does the opposite. You let the comment hang. You wait for the silence to become uncomfortable. Then you look them directly in the eyes and say, "That's an interesting perspective, Mark. Tell me, how does that help us reach the goal of this project?" You didn't attack Mark. You didn't defend yourself. You simply refocused the energy back on him. Mark now has to justify his toxicity in front of everyone. He looks like the distractor and you look like the professional. They feel it. The boss sees your composure. Your coworkers see your restraint. By the end of the meeting, Mark's status has dropped and yours has risen, all because you refuse to be rattled. True calmness is not the same as being harmless. There is a massive difference between a rabbit that is quiet because it is afraid and a lion that is quiet because it is confident. People don't respect the rabbit, but they are mesmerized by the lion. To achieve the level of calm where they feel it, you must integrate what psychologists call the shadow. This is the part of your personality that is capable of aggression, teeth-baring, and destruction. If you suppress this part of yourself, you don't become calm. You become nice, and nice people are disrespected every day. You must be a warrior who has decided to keep his sword in its sheath. When you sit in a room, you aren't calm because you can't fight. You are calm because you don't need to. This potential for violence creates a specific frequency in your energy that others pick up on a primal level. It's the reason why a professional fighter is often the most soft-spoken person in a bar. He has nothing to prove. When you embrace your shadow, your silence isn't empty. It is heavy with the weight of what you could do, but choose not to. This is the ultimate form of self-mastery. You are not a victim of your emotions. You are the jailer of your own inner beast. And when people look into your eyes, they don't see weakness. They see a man who has conquered himself. Your calmness must be audible. If you remain silent for 3 seconds and then speak in a high-pitched, fast, or shaky voice, the illusion of power is shattered instantly. To command respect, you must master the subharmonic authority. When we are stressed, our vocal cords tighten. Our breath becomes shallow, coming only from the chest. This makes our voice sound thin and weak. To counter this, you must practice diaphragmatic speaking. Your voice should come from your gut, not your throat. Lower the pitch. You don't need to fake a deep voice, but you must speak at the lower end of your natural register. Slow the tempo. High-status individuals do not rush their words. Rushing is a sign that you are afraid of being interrupted. When you speak slowly, you are signaling that your time is valuable and that others will wait to hear what you have to say. The downward inflection. Most people end their sentences with an upward pitch, making everything sound like a question. This is a submissive checking signal. High-authority individuals end their sentences with a downward inflection. It makes every statement sound like a command or an undeniable truth. Practice saying, "That is not how this is going to happen." Say it once like a question and once like a final verdict. Feel the difference. They feel it too. You cannot expect to stay calm in a high-stakes conflict if you haven't trained your nervous system in low-stakes environments. Calmness is a muscle. If you don't go to the mental gym, you will fail when the weight gets heavy. The masters of composure use voluntary hardship to calibrate their minds. Cold exposure. When you jump into a freezing shower, your body screams in panic. Your heart rate jumps. Your first instinct is to gasp and jump out. By forcing yourself to stand still and breathe calmly in the freezing water, you are training your prefrontal cortex to override your amygdala. You are teaching your brain that, "I am uncomfortable, but I am safe." The no reaction day. Pick one day a week where you decide in advance that nothing will get a reaction out of you. If someone cuts you off in traffic, you smile. If your coffee is cold, you drink it without complaint. If an email makes you angry, you wait 4 hours to reply. By the time you face a real attempt at disrespect, your brain will already be cold-hardened. You will look at the person trying to offend you the same way you look at a cold shower, as a minor temporary inconvenience that you have already conquered 1,000 times before. What happens if someone tries to disrespect you in front of a crowd? This is the ultimate test. In this scenario, the stakes are doubled because you aren't just managing the aggressor, you are managing the audience. The crowd is like a mirror. If you look bothered, the crowd will see you as a loser. If you look amused or indifferent, the crowd will see the aggressor as a fool. When someone insults you publicly, don't interrupt them. Let them finish. Let them keep talking until they run out of breath. The more they talk, the more desperate they look. Maintain soft focus. Don't glare at them with anger. Look at them with soft eyes, as if you are watching a movie you've seen before and found slightly boring. the slow blink. Nothing shows indifference more than a slow, deliberate blink. It says, "I am so bored by your attempt to hurt me that I might actually fall asleep." Then, address the crowd, not the aggressor. Or simply say, "Is that all you wanted to say? Great. Let's get back to what actually matters." This is the status nuclear option. You have effectively erased their importance in front of everyone. Идем на финишную прямую. Чтобы пробить планку в 50 тысяч символов, нам нужно добавить тяжелую артиллерию. Глубокий разбор невербалики, тактику перехвата инициативы и финальный философский манифест, который заставит зрителя досмотреть видео до последней секунды. Part 17. The Psychology of the Predator's Gaze. Глубинный разбор взгляда. We've talked about staying still, but now we need to talk about how you look at your adversary. In the world of high-stakes social dynamics, there is a technique called the predator's gaze, or the apex stare. It is not an expression of anger, it is an expression of observation. Image suggestion, a split screen. On one side, a prey animal with wide, frantic eyes. On the other, a lion with half-lidded, perfectly calm, focused eyes. Most people, when they are challenged, use what is called high arousal eyes. Their pupils dilate, their eyelids widen, and they look startled. This is a submissive signal. It tells the aggressor that they have successfully triggered your stress response. To be truly respected, you must master low arousal vision. 1. The half-lid technique. Keep your eyelids slightly heavy. This signals that you are relaxed. It shows that you don't perceive the person in front of you as a threat, worthy of your full adrenaline. 2. The through. Look. Do not look at their eyes. Look through them. Focus on a point about an inch behind their skull. This creates a haunting, 1,000-yard stare effect. They feel it. It makes them feel like they are transparent, like you are reading their thoughts and finding them uninteresting. 3. The triangle break. If you must look away, never look down. Looking down is a sign of shame or defeat. If you need to break eye contact, look to the side, as if you heard a more interesting sound in the distance, and then slowly bring your gaze back. This gaze communicates one thing. I am the observer, and you are the subject. I am in control of this visual space. When an aggressor meets this look, their bravado usually collapses within seconds because they realize they are playing a game with someone who has already won. Now let's talk about verbal combat. In Aikido, you don't block an opponent's punch. You use their momentum to throw them to the ground. In social interactions, we do the same with emotional Aikido. The goal is to take their disrespect and turn it into a mirror of their own insecurity. Image suggestion, a graphic showing a jagged red arrow, insult, hitting a smooth blue circle, calm, and curving back to hit the sender. Scenario, the snide remark. Someone says, "Wow, you're actually wearing that to the meeting?" Bold choice. The reactionary response. "What's wrong with it? I think it looks fine." Defensive, weak. The Aikido response. You look at them, pause, tilt your head slightly and say, "I'm curious. What was the goal of that comment? Were you trying to be helpful or are you just having a stressful morning?" Do you see what happened? You didn't defend the clothes. You made their behavior the topic of conversation. You forced them to explain their motive. When you ask someone to explain their rudeness, They almost always stutter. They lose their frame. Scenario: the interruption. If someone keeps talking over you, don't raise your voice to compete. Stop talking entirely. Wait. Let the silence grow until they realize they are the only one making noise. Then, in a lower, slower voice, say, "I'll wait for you to finish. My point is important, and I want to make sure you're capable of hearing it." This is the status hammer. You have just labeled them as impulsive and yourself as the adult in the room. They feel the shift. The power has moved from the one who is talking to the one who is controlling the flow of time. We need to address the why on a much larger scale. This isn't just about winning an argument today. This is about your trajectory over the next 10 years. In the modern world, attention is the new oil, but calmness is the new gold. The world is becoming more reactive. Algorithms are designed to make us angry. News is designed to make us panic. Social media is designed to make us feel inadequate. Image suggestion. A golden statue of a man sitting in meditation while a chaotic digital world of red likes, angry emojis, and news headlines swirls around him, unable to touch him. A person who can remain calm is a person who can think clearly. A person who can think clearly is a person who can spot opportunities while everyone else is blinded by emotion. In business, the calm person wins the negotiation because they aren't desperate. In investing, the calm person wins because they don't sell during a panic. In relationships, the calm person is the leader because they provide the stability that everyone else craves. By mastering your reactions, you are literally buying yourself a better future. You are avoiding the drama tax, the wasted time, energy, and health that come from unnecessary conflicts. Every time you refuse to react to a small person, you are saving that energy for your empire. We have reached the end of this journey, but for you, the work is just beginning. Look around you. Most people are hollow. They are shells that react to every poke and prod of the environment. They are easy to offend, easy to manipulate, and easy to forget. But you are choosing a different path. You are choosing to be the unshakable. Image suggestion. A close-up of a man's face. He looks directly into the camera. He doesn't smile, but he looks profoundly satisfied. The words, "they feel it," fade in slowly. Remember, your calmness is a threat to the weak, but it is a sanctuary for the strong. When you refuse to be moved, you are declaring your independence from the world. You are saying, "You can scream, you can lie, you can try to diminish me, but I am a mountain, and you are just the wind. And the wind can never move the mountain." Go out today and test this. Find the most stressful situation in your life and meet it with a 3-second pause. Look at your enemies with the predator's gaze. Speak with the voice of authority. And when you see the look of confusion and respect in their eyes, remember this moment. Remember that power isn't taken. It is demonstrated through the absolute, terrifying peace of a man who knows exactly who he is. They feel it. And now, so do you.